Hi, Professor Graham. So the question is, how many vehicle types are sold in the United States each year, and what is the total market value? To get the tires sold, we first need to scope our definition of vehicle. So we'll define the following types: light and medium duty, so AKA our passenger cars, trucks, SUVs, race cars, etc. Heavy duty, so our tow trucks, our 18-wheelers, our buses. Industrial, forklifts, tractors, motorcycles, airplanes, everything from our crop dusters to our military bombers and jets, and bicycles. So next we need to make some educated guesses. So for passenger cars, we have existing inventory, we have inventory being manufactured, we have inventory sitting on car lots. From a systems approach, we'll estimate the existing passenger cars, and we'll use that as a reference points for pretty much everything else. So for the inventory being manufactured, inventory on car lots, and for heavy duty, we're going to estimate 5% of existing across all three of these. With a special note that for heavy duty, these types of vehicles have 12 tires on average, not 4. For motorcycles, we see these on the road all the time, but we see them less than 18-wheelers and buses. So we'll estimate this at 3% of existing, and of course 2 tires per vehicle. For industrial, we'll be generous and we'll estimate at 1% of existing passenger cars, and airplanes will estimate at 0.1% of passenger cars. Special note, 10 tires per vehicle for airplanes. And for bicycles, I'm going to use a completely different estimation method here in a second. So pulling all this together, we'll estimate roughly 300 million people in the United States. 2/3 own a car. That brings us to 200 million cars, 800 million tires. Calculating the additional 5% for inventory manufactured, sitting inventory, heavy duty, 3% for motorcycles, 1% for industrial, 0.1% for airplanes. That gets us to just over a billion, 22 million. When we add in bicycles, so roughly 300 million people in the United States, average family size of 3, 100 million families. We'll estimate that 1 in 3 families has a bicycle, getting us to 33 million bikes. That brings our total market of existing tires to 1,088,000,000. So now that we have existing, we can turn our attention to the actual question of what the resale market looks like. For all vehicle types, we will estimate a 3-year useful life, which corresponds to 33% of all tires needing to be replaced annually. So based on the calculation of the 1 billion plus tires, adding in some cost estimates for passenger cars, pretty wide disparity here, especially when you get into specialty tires. So we'll use a $200 average. Heavy duty and motorcycle categories, these are very much down the specialty tire route, so we'll use a $300 average. For industrial, while these are also specialty tires, these vehicles don't go very fast. So we'll assume that these tires don't need to be quite at the same level of quality. We'll use a $100 average. And for airplanes, we will use a $500 average. These are about as specialty as you get, and they likely come with pretty strict regulations as well. So for bicycles, given the low speeds, low weight requirements, we'll assume $25 average for bicycles. So crunching all those numbers, pulling everything together across the 6 categories, we get to a rough market estimation of 361 million tires sold annually at an overall market size of $73 billion USD.